Welcome to Michigan Golf Scene. This is Michigan's only voice that covers Michigan tournaments and golfers, both adult and junior, college golf, equipment, course reviews, and golf stories. Hello, this is Roy J. Akers, and with most of Michigan's golf courses taking aim at fantastic weather, we check in with Treetops PGA professional Kevin McKinley. Resort PGA professional Kevin McKinley, you are loaded for bear because you got it's like telemarketing back here.
Yeah, we're ready to book business, and one of the things we try to do at Treetops as much as possible is we offer deals at the beginning of the year. We try to offer the best deals as far out as you can get them, just giving people that commit to us and guarantee that they're going to come to Treetops the best possible deals. We don't ever want to try to be that person that sees or that somebody sees a deal, books a deal, and then all of a sudden, a week before their trip, they see something that's even better out there. So
you go your very best. Now, you have a promotion called the 5 Wonders of Michigan. Tell us a little bit more about that.
So the 5 Wonders of Michigan it's not necessarily a promotion, it's our golf courses. So at Treetops, we have 5 unbelievable golf courses. Our first one designed by Robert Trent Jones Sr., the Jones Masterpiece. Tom Fazio then came about 6 years later when the Masterpiece was too many people were on it. It was getting to the point where nobody could get a tee time, so we expanded it Treetops. In addition, we wanted to build a course that complemented the Masterpiece being a really difficult golf course. The Fazio Premier, Tom Fazio, was known very much for building very forgiving golf courses. And so the Fazio course was built in the early 90s. And then at the time, our director of golf was Rick Smith, teacher to the stars, Phil Mickelson's instructor. He taught Jack Nicklaus for a while. And Rick was our director of golf at the time and was with Robert Trent Jones Sr. when he built the Masterpiece, was then with Tom Fazio when he built the Premier, and really honed his skills at building golf courses. And so the final 3 golf courses, the final 3 pieces of the puzzle at Treetops, were all designed by Rick Smith. So we have the Rick Smith Signature Course, a beautiful 18-hole course. Most of our guests say that that's their favorite course up at Treetops. We have the Rick Smith Tradition Course, which originally was built as a walking design, and that's an 18-hole course as well. And then Treetops, kind of the crown gem of Treetops. That's the one where if you're coming to Treetops, make sure that you take the 90 minutes that it takes to play Treetops. That's a 9-hole par 3 course, and it's the #1 ranked par 3 course in North America by several publications.
I love that course. And shooting off number 3 down.
Yeah, Devil's Drop. Yeah.
Oh, but that's not the only great hole. There's so many great ones there, and you're so lucky to be the chess master overall.
I am lucky. I sometimes have to pinch myself, and sometimes we're up there and we just routinely go out and play a round of golf, but there are times where I just take it all in and just realize how lucky I am to be at beautiful Treetops.
Besides having 5 golf courses, you also have stay and play packages. You talked about that, but staying at your place is a pretty awesome thing. What are some of the things that you can do if you come up to your neck of the woods?
Yeah, so a majority of our golf rounds that are played every year, and we're darn near 100,000 rounds each on a yearly basis. A very high percentage of those are people that are staying and playing at Treetops. To come up and play, I mean, the golf says it all, and the golf really sells it, and the golf is really what's bringing people there. But Gaylord's a really cool town. Gaylord's kind of got that foreign feel, that Swiss appeal, kind of that Bavarian style if you look at the architecture. Really quaint town, so some great shopping right there in Gaylord. There's access to some of the best headwaters of the Pigeon River up there, so there's some great fly fishing. We have Jay's Sporting Goods up there that does a really, really nice business for hunting and fishing and outdoors. We have water rafting, we have mini golf courses in the area. The restaurants are unbelievable. So first of all, right at Treetops, we have a director of food and beverage that is award-winning, does a fantastic job with the culinary at Treetops. So the restaurants at Treetops itself are fantastic, but if you do need to venture out, we have some fantastic food, some brewing companies as well, so we're not immune to the trend of brewmasters in Michigan. So there's a Snowbelt Brewing Company right downtown, a barbecue place. So Treetops really is a great hub. We're about a mile or 100 miles, not 100 miles, 60 miles south of the Mackinac Bridge. So day trips to Mackinac Island or the UP are not out of the question when you come to Treetops.
Well, you're almost like the Chamber of Commerce and the PGA. All right, well, thank you.
You got it.
When we return, we go out to Warwick Hills where we speak with PGA great Corey Pavin, and we take you out to Linden, Michigan, where Xavier head coach Brian McCants tells us what he looks for when recruiting junior golfers.
"14 clubs. That's what they tell us a legal golf bag can hold. And while that leaves a little room for balls and tees, it doesn't leave room for much else. There's no room left for deadlines or conference calls, not a single pocket to hold the stress of the day or the to-do list of tomorrow. Only 14 clubs. Pick out the right one and drive it right down the middle of pure Michigan. Your golf trip begins at michigan.org.
With me is Brian McCants, head men's golf coach at Xavier University. What brings you all the way up to the other side of the border to come up and look at players?
Well, the same thing that takes me to Ohio, events in Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky, is there's good players everywhere. And the ability to come and watch them play and to see their tendencies, strengths and weaknesses, to see them under pressure. This is where they really get exposed, especially in the wind like we had some today. The more times you get an opportunity to see an individual compete, the more likelihood you're going to see them on a day where they don't have their A stuff. And that's when the competitor within them really starts to show out. And as a coach, when I'm doing an evaluation, obviously you'd love to see somebody light the course up like a pinball machine. But when you can see them grind and compete and fight for every shot, that's when you know you've got somebody perhaps really special, because that's the ability to compete from the first tee to the 18th green when they don't have their best stuff. That's a skill in and of itself, and that's when the true competitors rise to the occasion.
Now, you kind of given us a really good perspective as far as what it makes a great Xavier golfer, a potential one. What are some of the kids that come into your program and they're thinking one way and they find out something else? What is that intangible that you try to prepare kids for so that they can be successful from the high school, playing 18 holes of golf all the way to playing in the MAC?
Well, I think there's a couple things that I really look for, one of which is what level of passion they have for the game of golf. And beyond that, what level of passion they have to truly become the best player they can be. It's a little bit different in each individual, but the more I watch them compete, the better I think I can tell who truly wants to be the best they can be. And within that, translates over to academics. If they're competitive in the classroom as they are on the golf course, those two aren't mutually exclusive. They should go hand in hand. It doesn't matter the task they're asked to give, they give 100%. If that's in golf, if it's in school, if it's in community service, if it's in being a son or a brother or whatever it is in their life, if they're asked to do something, they do it to the best of their ability, and that should be non-transferable. And if they're if they're used to doing that while they're in junior golf and in high school golf, then that's going to transfer into college, and once they get out of college, it's going to transfer to whatever vocation they go pursue in life.
With boys high school golf and junior golf getting into full swing for the season, we look forward to bringing you their golf tournaments and stories from the next generation of great players. Next up, have you ever seen a pimped up golf cart? Well, sure you have, but now we're going to take you up close and tell you how you can get one of those great rides to the golf course or to ride around your neighborhood. Chris Williams, you are what, the proprietor for Green Oak Golf Carts?
Yes.
And tell us a little bit more about these golf carts, because I just bought a Harley last summer and I'm kind of wondering what I should have really done, because for 10 grand you can pimp daddy your golf cart.
Oh yeah, we do a lot of fancy custom golf carts. Not all of them are for golfing, a lot of them for campgrounds and everything else. But if you're a golfer, we can certainly make you stand out on the golf course or give you a pimp daddy ride to take to the golf course.
Now, you can't bring your own golf cart to most golf courses unless you live on it and have permission. So if I wanted to buy one and all I have is a sidewalk in front of my house, am I your type of customer, or are you looking for someone who can have direct access to a lake, a park, or a golf course?
We do primarily people that have a little bit of property, like they go down to their lake, or they'll go to the park, or they'll have a huge subdivision where they can drive it around the subdivision. People that are in the city, it's kind of hard for them to have a golf cart, but
You'll make it work.
we'll make it work. If they want one, we'll certainly build them one.
Yeah, I like it. This is kind of like the Rolls Royce for someone who can't afford a Rolls Royce.
Well, this one behind us is the Mac Daddy for sure.
This is the Mac Daddy. Well, tell you what, why don't you go ahead? I'm going to go ahead and turn this bad boy around.
Sure.
And, whoa, let's that little bit. Tell us a little bit more about what makes this the Mac Daddy.
Well, this one here is actually one that we have completely refurbished. It's actually a 2012. We've stripped it down to the frame, cut it in half, stretched it out like a limousine, made it into a 6-passenger, and then just customized it all out. We've got the LED lights on it, a lift kit, fancy tires and wheels, the custom beautiful ruby red body on it, a little push bar just in case you have a tendency to tip a few while you're driving. You might want, run into something. It's got a custom dashboard, custom steering wheel. It's like a little mini custom car.
Now, how does somebody get a hold of you to say, you know what, that is my new vehicle?
Well, they can find us at greenoakgolfcarts.com, or they can call us in South Lyon at 248-437-8461.
And I got to believe, with you being in South Lyon, which is probably, what, 20, 30, not 20 minutes?
Yeah, 20 minutes from here, yeah.
And so, basically, somebody will come out and take a look if they're right. I mean, do you have like a regular showroom?
Yeah, we have a little showroom there. We do full service out there. We can fix your cart. We can customize your cart if you already have one. And we also do rentals. So if you have a special event coming up and need to rent a golf cart, we rent them as well.
Well, I sure like to have myself a great golf cart, but I have a Harley and I had to make a choice. Maybe a golf cart is in my future. There's no doubt that a pimped up golf cart is just something you have to consider. In just a moment, we revisit the Michigan Golf Show and catch up with the Mulligan Tour. This tour is designed for the adult golfer who can win against better players who are also having a good day.
Unbeatable price, service, selection, and customer satisfaction?
That's the Gowling difference. Only at Gowling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
Your Ram store.
During the spring sales event, lease a 2018 Ram 1500 Bighorn Quad Cab 4x4 starting at $199 a month employee, $259 friends and family. Or during the Ram Truck Month, lease a 2018 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4, just $239 employee, $289 friends and family. Get to Gowling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on Telegraph, north of Square Lake, just west of I-75 at exit 75.
Our dad was a successful attorney. He didn't make a big fuss about himself, but everyone knew and respected him, like they do my brother Mike.
I didn't get a chance to practice with Dad, but we still consider ourselves a family law firm because we treat every client like family.
Giving you the same care and respect you'd give a family member.
That's the real advantage, and a commitment from me, Mike Morse. Call and see for yourself. 855-MIKE-WINS. 855-MIKE-WINS.
Corey Pavin is a superb player and is one of the crowd favorites anytime he tees it up on the PGA Champions Tour. We catch up with Pavin at Warwick Hills during the LI Challenge. Corey, you shot pretty close to par out there today. What was it like returning to Warwick Hills?
Well, it's nice to come back here. I think the one thing that you feel about a tournament like this is the community. You feel the whole area is behind it. Obviously, LA is too, but it's neat to come back here, a place we haven't been for obviously a long time. And I remember when it was announced that we were coming here, and everybody on the Champions Tour, the PGA Tour Champions, was, it was a little buzz. We were excited to come back and play here, and it's a great place. The fans are fantastic, and the people are really nice, and it's a good place to come.
Now, I heard on TV, I don't know if this is true, are you playing with the same putter you had the last time you were at Warwick Hills? I mean, you dusted out?
I'm sure it's the same one. You know, I started using that putter in 1984, and I've used it most of the time since I got it. But yeah, I'm sure I used it. I don't know if I used it in '09 when I was here last, but likely.
Taking a look, I know that one of your big charities is the Armed Forces, and I don't know if they do this at all the Legends events or this one in particular, but there are a lot of Armed Forces veterans that are here at compliments of the sponsor from both McLaren and from Allied Bank. That must really kind of warm your heart. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, they're doing that, and actually Dow Chemical, who I'm with, have a tent out here on 18, and paid a little visit earlier in the week, and there were some, vets are all invited in there to come and hang out and do whatever they want to do in there. So it's neat to see these guys, these men and women out here. It means a lot to me. As you said, I've been over to Iraq twice visiting the troops, and it was a tremendous experience. Experience I wish every American could do and understand what the military does. And it's just not the fighting people, men and women, it's the support. I mean, the fighting people are just the tip of the iceberg, so to speak. All the support they get from everyone else is amazing. I think it's like for every one fighting person, there's 8 or 10 support. And so it's not just the people. I mean, I know the Wounded Warriors get a lot of attention, which they absolutely deserve. But all the military people deserve it. Yeah,
are you going to go over and visit them at some point, or?
Well, we had a visit earlier.
Oh, you did? I didn't realize that.
At Dow, and I love seeing the military out. And, I think everybody should walk up to them and say thank you very much to them all the time.
Final question. It's intense when you're playing as a tour regular. As a man half your age. It seems like everybody's kind of mellow. It looks like, did everybody make their bones on a regular tour, and this is the world's greatest mulligan? Or, I mean, you guys are you're very approachable.
Well, no, I think we're hopefully more mature, is what I'd like to say. So, I think we understand that we have a great opportunity, and to be able to play the game and compete and still make a living at it out here at our age is really an incredible blessing. And I think we're all grateful for it. We all love to compete. When we get out there, we may talk a little bit more than we did when we were younger, but we're also very into it and want to win and compete as hard as we can.
Corey, best of luck to you. Appreciate you coming by. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Unbeatable price, service, selection, and customer satisfaction?
That's the Gowling difference. Only at Gowling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
Your Ram store.
During the spring sales event, lease a 2018 Ram 1500 Bighorn Quad Cab 4x4 starting at $199 a month employee, $259 friends and family. Or during the Ram Truck Month, lease a 2018 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4, just $239 employee, $289 friends and family. Get to Gowling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on Telegraph, north of Square Lake, just west of I-75 at exit 75.
The Pete Dye course in French Lick, Indiana is a masterpiece put together by one of the all-time great course architects, Pete Dye. Sparing no expense, and Andy Fortner tells us about what makes this iconic course a must-play for players of all skill levels. With me is Andy Fortner, PGA professional at the Pete Dye course at the French Lick Resort. What makes the Pete Dye course a must-play?
I think first of all is just the vistas here at the Dye course. The vistas here at the Dye course you can see on a clear day up to 40 miles in all directions. So not only is it a great test of golf, stretching up to 8102, also the vistas and the views make it a special must-play.
Most people would think that a course that costs as much as this one to build, you'd be flooding golfers out here, but that's not the case. You only let a certain amount of players come out onto the Pete Dye course each day?
Correct. It's not so much how many we let out, it's just that our price point keeps it limited, but at the same time, it's an experience. We're not wanting people just to come in and play as fast as they can and get out. It's about coming, spend the day, enjoying yourself, take the course in, come in, eat breakfast, enjoy, go to the range, do a little practice session, go out, enjoy the course. You have a 4 caddy in every group, which is great. Helps the experience even that much more. Get done, maybe have a little drink and food on the patio, then head home. So we're not wanting to be just like a daily fee, come in and out you go.
16th hole, one of the best finishing holes coming around as you start that stretch of the last 3. Tell us about number 16.
16, I just more than anything, you get the par 3 and it's water all the way down the right hand side. I mean, there's not much miss right at all. So when you get up there, and then the problem is there's not much miss left either. I mean, you can miss it left, and you got a lot of heather. You got a bunker down that left hand side as well. So for that hole, I mean, that's a tough par 3, maybe one of our more signature holes here.
What is your strategy play for that hole? Is there certain, what iron range are you looking for? What is your smart play to take certain things out of play, or
I mean, as much as you can take the right hand side out of play. I mean, like I said, although you can't miss it left too far, your miss is definitely not right there, because even with the wind coming out of the southwest there, it doesn't play to your advantage very often. So anything you do to keep it in play, sometimes the smart play is even, leave it a little short if you have to, just right there on the front edge. Something you can control more, an iron that you control maybe more than a longer iron or a hybrid.
And as far as putting on that particular green, any suggestions?
There's just a lot of, it has kind of a ridge in the back of it there, so you got to get over that ridge when the pin's back there. A lot of times I've been playing there and you leave it short and it's no good. It can turn into a 3-putt hole real quick there.
'17 is just a tough golf hole, Andy. Tell us a little bit more about the wide range of tees there and what your play is, where you want to put the ball so you have a best chance of getting a par and an occasional birdie, maybe.
I feel maybe 17 might be one of the hardest par 4s on this golf course. I mean, the wind coming out southwest, like I said, again, into your face a long time. It's already long enough. So for that hole, I mean, and then you don't have a lot of miss left. So anything, and then if you miss it right there, it's down over the hill towards 18 with the heather, and then there's a waste bunker down there as well. So for that one, it's you got to keep it in play on 17, and like I said, it plays so long.
And what type of iron are you playing into that hole?
You're hoping to play, a 7 in there if you can, but I mean, with the wind a lot of time, you're playing longer than that. That hole can, if you don't get all your drive there, or you fade it out a little bit, you've got a long way into what I don't feel is a very big green there, and also with the way it falls off to the left.
Now, Pete Dye saved a severe, I don't even like a left-hand turn hole there for the 18. That's diabolical Pete there, among his best, huh?
It is, especially off the tee. Off the tee is very visually challenging. When you get up there, you got to trust the caddies here when they say you got to take it where you do. Because when you look out there, you're thinking, I don't think I can hit it there. It looks like it falls off to nothing, but you got to trust what they're saying there. And sometimes it's best to take your medicine and stay off to the right down that fairway and play it in from the bend there.
So your second shot is most likely going to be a 3-wood, or some of the kids can probably go a little less than that?
Well, yeah, some can go less that are longer like that. Sometimes I think it's if you can't get there, your best, especially that green being so large and so long, you can play, 2 or 3 clubs there from the front all the way to the back. So sometimes your best just to take your medicine, try to get it over there in the bend or down towards the approach area, and then try to play them down for the birdie.
Now, assuming you've accomplished your first 2 shots, your final shot into the green is approximately how much, and what is your strategy for coming home?
Most of the time, I will play just straight, try to get the wood just all the way over towards the left-hand side, even though you have an uphill shot. And like I said, the green being so long, you've got to kind of decide where you want to play it, because I mean, from the front of that green to the back, I mean, you can play so many different ways when you're coming in on that hole. So for me, a lot of times it's just try to hit it down there. If you can't get there, at least get it into the uphill slide, and the rough's not too thick around that green where you can play it. So sometimes that's almost the best play than trying to do the bend, because if you miss it on the bend and you're in one of the swells on the side of the rough there, it's plays pretty tough.
When we return, sex appeal is part of the product when the LPGA comes to town, and we take you to one of the first pinups in tour history, a gal all the way back in the 1970s, Jan Stephenson. Stephenson is not only a great player, but she owns golf courses and is still a force in the game of golf. We talked to Jan at the French Lick Resort.
14 clubs. That's what they tell us a legal golf bag can hold. And while that leaves a little room for balls and tees, it doesn't leave room for much else. There's no room left for deadlines or conference calls, not a single pocket to hold the stress of the day or the to-do list of tomorrow. Only 14 clubs. Pick out the right one and drive it right down the middle of pure Michigan. Your golf trip begins at Michigan.org.
Me is LPGA Hall of Famer Jan Stephenson. Jan, this tournament is kind of breaking new ground because the legends of the LPGA are now, they're kind of adding a few more tournaments each year. Is that a good thing for you?
Well, it's a great thing for the tour. It's a little late for me. I mean, they'd have to move the tees up before I could really compete with the Laura Davies. I mean, they play a lot. They play, on the LPGA tour as well. And I'm a little busy with business, so I don't get to play much. But I would if they moved the tees up. Maybe that would make me want to practice more.
Well, of course, and it's one thing. When the men started this many years ago, I mean, now it's like I'm so glad to see that the ladies are doing this. And I've heard different reactions. Julie Inkster says, this is about what I want to play. And other players, Laura Davies looks like she'd probably play a tournament within the tournament if she could.
Absolutely. She would like that. I think in some of the LPGA tournaments, they probably should. They should have a senior section because it would be easier. You've already got the galleries. And in Japan and Australia, we do a lot of it where we play different tees and we even play against the men that way. And it's really fun.
Do you think it would be nice if they promoted this even where they maybe had the legends maybe tee off in a section before the LPGA players in a few tournaments, just to kind of help promote this so people know what's going on?
I think that's a great idea. I mean, we've done a few where we've done it with the Symmetric Tour to help them because nobody knows who the young kids are. But I think if it was with the LPGA, and especially earlier in the week, I think we'd get a lot of gallery. We did it one time, and we had huge galleries.
Now, when you came up between then and now, I mean, the young kids, I cover the AJGA and some other junior tours, these kids are rubber bands. I mean, they literally can do things. I'm like, no way, how are you doing this? Is it a combination of conditioning, the golf ball, the clubs, and just more knowledge, data? I mean, what's going on? Is it all of it or part of it or what?
I believe it's all of it. You look now when they practice and everything, is on video and they don't have to hit hundreds and hundreds of balls to figure it out. With feedback, they've got it right there instantly.
Yeah, but on a wristwatch now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they look at it and they can change it immediately. And of course, the same thing. They're all conditioned. They have equipment where the sweet spot is so huge they don't even have to worry about hitting a 2 or 3 iron.
Yeah. Now I am going to ask you, kind of like how you got into in the LPGA. I heard a little bit of the story with Fred Couples and that, but how did it come about where all of a sudden you were kind of the face? You were the logo on the LPGA there for a while.
Yes, I was, and I still am for the Legends Tour, which is pretty good. That's my suite. But
I saw you all the way in town. I know.
But well, the good thing is that I was really lucky when I first came over here. They wanted to change the image. We had a new commissioner, and I had won a tournament, so they said, "Oh well, at least I can win, so they can't say that I'm just kind of attractive." So he took me as the new image, and I had to go meet a lot of potential new sponsors, but it was great for both of us.
Now, I'll make this a final question. What are you doing these days when you're not golfing? I know business takes up a lot. Tell us a little bit about what you're up to now, because your fans would probably like to know.
Well, actually, I have 3 businesses. I have a winery, Jan Stephenson Winery. It's jswinery.com, and then I actually own a distillery in Utah, so I now have alcohol as well. So I just won 2 double golds for my pineapple flavored rum. and a 94 rating, which is pretty impressive. And then, but I actually own a golf course in Tampa that is under my foundation. So I teach the disabled vets and first responders not just how to play golf, but I actually get them in the golf business. I teach them how to build golf clubs.
Wow.
And all of the people that I hire are all from all vets. All the guys that work on my maintenance have come from Afghanistan and Iraq.
Yeah, I'm lucky enough to get to cover a Wounded Vets project up in Battle Creek at Gull Lake on Friday when this tournament's over. And I love talking to players about their foundations and what they're doing because your eyes really light up. The rest of this is okay, but I mean, when your foundation, and that must really be dear to your heart.
Well, it is. I didn't realize that it was going to be so personal with me because they all thank you when you just give them a day. You know, once a month I give them a day. Maybe one day it's for the Gold Star fathers and one for the families, and it's really incredible that they're thanking you when they're the ones that have lost someone and they're keeping us free.
Sounds to me like they got to start selling some of your drinks at some of these tournaments. That's just one more way to rebrand it. Jan, thank you so much. It is cold out here, but it is actually Florida weather compared to the polar bear plunge that everybody took to warm up yesterday after the round.
Exactly.
Thanks again.
It was cold yesterday.
Thank you, Jan. Finally, Vargo Golf is the home of several Detroit area courses, and we talked to them about golfing at their courses during the 2019 season. And what do you do for the Vargo Golf Company?
I manage all 5 of our golf properties. We're anywhere from Macomb County, Oakland County, Livingston County. So we've got golf courses everywhere.
Now, Vargo, I know that your courses have been fluid over the years because you've had some come, you've had some go.
Correct.
What makes the Vargo experience a unique one?
Well, we like to focus on giving the golfer a good product for a great price. We're here to keep our greens fees down and let everybody have the opportunity to play golf.
Now, at your courses, I know that you used to do a lot of golf outings and that. Is still the case? Are you doing golf outings, weddings, and so forth?
Absolutely. We do tons of weddings at all our facilities, golf outings. We specialize in golf outings. We're booking those right now. And we actually put on tournaments, house tournaments, which sell out every tournament we do sells out. So I encourage anyone to get into those.
Now, as far as your, a lot of courses talk about bang for the buck. What makes you a great bang for the buck?
Well, bang for the buck is we try to offer a great price and a great product. So we have coupons online. We put them right on our website for anyone to access, and that's all year round. And a lot of courses don't do that.
Now, what is your website address?
Our website address is vargogolf.com.
Vargo Golf. Now, tell us just real quick, where are some of the courses located? Bruce Hills is located what, Macomb County?
Bruce Hills is Macomb County and Romeo. And then the Myth is Oakland County, which is in Oakland Township, just north of Rochester. We have the Hampton in Rochester Hills.
Is that a par 3?
It's an executive course. It's a par 32, so there are some par 4s mixed into it. But it's a great spot for beginners or anyone looking for a quick round of golf. Then we have Whispering Pines in Pinckney. That's in Livingston County. And we have Golden Hawk over in Casco Township, right around Richmond.
All right. Well, bottom line is, if there's one thing you want people to take from your experience at Vargo Golf, just say it's what?
A fun environment, and we want anyone to come out and play. Women, children, guys coming out with their buddies. We like to make it friendly for everybody and make everybody feel comfortable.
That is all the time we have for now. We will have another action-packed show coming up shortly. On our next show, we're going to take you out to college golf with MSU, Michigan, and a whole lot of others. We're going to have Lexi Thompson as a guest, Fred Couples, Tom Lehman, and drone coverage from another one of our great Metro Detroit courses, and maybe even one of our resort courses as well. Please check out the show at www.midwestsportscene.com and click Michigan Golf Scene. This has been Roy J. Akers reporting.